Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing part 2 of my eyeshadow declutter, and it's gonna be long. I should have made part 1 way longer because there are quite a few eyeshadows. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like, this is just one box. There are 2 of these, and they are all exploding like that. So we have quite a bit to do today, and yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna be getting rid of a lot, and that's because I want to keep my makeup collection smaller, more curated, and I want things that I'm gonna actually use. And a lot of these things I don't use. I have the hiccups. I just got out of the shower. My hair is messy. It's raining outside. I just have the Stila glitter on my eye. It's a low-key day. And yeah, let's get started. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see my previous declutter videos, there is a link in the description for the playlist, and I'll pop it in the card somewhere. But let's get started. Let's just start with this box right here. The first thing in it is this Kylie palette by BH. Even though this looks used, I have barely touched this. I'm getting rid of this. I don't like it. I used these colors to do an eye look, and I didn't really like it. And I'm not going to go into my eyeshadow palette for highlighters, so this can go. I'm going to keep, without a doubt, this Retro Paradise eyeshadow palette from e.l.f. This is one of the best palettes I've ever had, not just drugstore, like ever. I love this palette, and I've used it quite a bit. You can see almost every shade in there has been used to some capacity. So I'll be keeping this, and I recommend, if you can get this, to pick it up. I don't think you can get it though. It was last summer. They're like summer collection, so you missed out if you didn't get it. I'm also going to keep these single shadows by Laura Lee Los Angeles. I got this in my mystery box unboxing that I did for her recently. I have barely got to play with these, but what I have played with, I did like, so I will keep this as well. I'm not even gonna have enough room on my desk for all this. This is crazy, crazy. I'm gonna keep this Natasha Denona 5-pan palette. I just got this in boxycharm. I only used the pink and the yellow, and I loved it, so I'll be keeping that. I'll also be keeping this Comfort Zone palette by Wet n Wild. It is the old one, and she was used, abused, and I love this shade right here. This like coppery, oh, I got makeup on my fingies. I love that all over the eyelid, and this is just such a YouTube classic that I can't part with it, so I'll keep that. I don't even think I've used this. I got this for $2 at TJ Maxx. It is a Makeup Revolution or Revolution Pro eyeshadow. I love this color story for fall, so I'm gonna keep this. Plus, I've never used it, and I would like to give it a try. I'm gonna get rid of this Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. They're like 9-pan in the tin. You can like see I've used it, and man, it's dusty, crusty, and I hated it. I thought I liked it when it was first in my collection. They used to come with like these, like how to get the, oh my god, like how to get this smoky eye like instructions. Shout out to old Too Faced. Y'all remember when they were running the makeup game? Not anymore. Anyway, I will be getting rid of this. Don't like it, don't use it, haven't used it in God knows how long. Getting rid of that. I'll also be getting rid of this e.l.f. It's just shimmer shades. You can see I hit pan on this one and literally almost every other one. I used this almost every single day for just an all over eyeshadow look. I could probably still use this, but I'm just gonna get rid of it because I have these colors in so many other palettes. I think I'm gonna keep this e.l.f. Rose Gold Nude little palette here. I forgot I even had this. I don't remember liking it though. So this is what I mean when it's hit or miss with e.l.f. Like sometimes you get the Retro Paradise banger, and sometimes you get these. I don't remember if this was good or not, so I will try it out, and then I will either keep it or get rid of it. I'm also going to keep this Hello Berlin eyeshadow palette by Essence. It looks like this. It looks like this. I've only used this once or twice because I put it in a drawer and then forgot about it. but I liked it when I did use it. So I think I did it for my full face of Essence. If you haven't seen that, I will link that down below. But I'm going to keep this. I think it was good and super, super affordable. I love Violet Voss eyeshadows. So I'm going to keep this Eyeshadow Essential Volume 2. It's got the beautiful purple tones that I love, plus some neutral colors. Oh, I'm not showing you. Plus some neutral colors. So I will keep this, plus her formula is to die for. If you have not tried Violet Voss, check them out. Oh, forgot I had this like little lip gloss. So happy to find that. Here, I'm gonna get rid of both of my Tarte palettes. I think one was BoxyCharm exclusive. I think it was this one. I don't got anything to say. They have a weird texture. It's like almost wet. Maybe I want to keep it. Here I am. Here I go. This is all shimmers. I will actually keep this all shimmer one. This is the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3. I'm going to keep this all shimmer one. I could use this all over the lid with my finger, kind of like I have today. I'll keep this, plus I think if I get rid of that, I'll have no Tarte eyeshadows, and I will get rid of this just as Tarte OH3 one. I think this came in a BoxyCharm like exclusive. I'll get rid of this. I don't even think I've used it. I'll give that to my sister or something. I'm going to keep this Morphe palette, and you know how I feel about Morphe, but my friend Karen gave me this, and I would never get rid of a gift that someone got me. And I've used this and I did like it. So I will keep this, plus it's a good compact little palette to travel with. So I'll keep this one, Morphe. You live to see another day in my collection. I'm actually gonna get rid of this Emerald Quad because this is so stupid. I was trying to do a full face of Profusion, and I saw this for 99 cents on their website. So without thinking, I grabbed it, put it in the cart. Didn't think about it because 99 cents, I could buy 100 of those. Not really, but you know, my brain saw that it was super sale, so I purchased it. And then I bought this same palette in full size, so I don't need the tiny little quad, so I'll be passing that along. But it is so stunning and really good quality. I don't even know how I got this. It's a Mirabella little eyeshadow palette. Sometimes people just give me their makeup to try. I think I used this once and it was not that good, so that can go. Now we have this beautiful Butter London palette, and it really is an interesting array of colors. There's only two mattes, this blue and this deep chocolate brown. Everything else is shimmer, and I'm looking at it and I kind of like it, but I don't think I've even ever used it other than one time for a video, so I will get rid of that as well. Okay. I have this, oh god, almost dropped it. I have this tiny little Summer Lovin' BH palette. Look how tiny these pans are. It's actually really cute. I think I used this one time for this super beautiful gold shade down here. I don't remember using any of the other colors though. I will actually keep this. I'm going to try to use this. In terms of BH, I've only used a couple things. My Zodiac palette, which I love, one of the best palettes ever, and the Carly Bybel palette, and I think this maybe. So I'm gonna keep this, plus I don't have too much from BH. Now we're getting to things like I've barely ever used. I have this Blush Crush palette by ColourPop, which I will keep. She is so stunning, super light neutrals, very pale, perfect for very pale skin, which hello, hi, that's me. I love it. I think it's really pretty, and I have only used it once, but I gotta move this to the top of my collection because I forgot I had that. Ugh, I hate this. This is the Lorac Pro 3, and I got this for Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty, and this is probably one of the worst palettes I've ever gotten. I mean, you could see I tried to make it work. I tried to use it, and I got nothing out of this. It was such a disappointing product, and I was just like, why am I trying to make this work? It's obviously not working. I got almost no payoff from it, and I'm like, I have these colors. I bought this on a whim because I wanted to try the Lorac palette, and it was such a disappointment. So I'll be getting rid of this, and that will come with a warning label to whom I give it to, letting them know like, hey, this palette actually kind of sucks. And I expressed that to someone else that I hated my Lorac palette, and they said, oh, me too, I hated it. So it's not just me. I'm gonna keep this tiny little Wet n Wild palette. I think I've, again, only the moral of the story is that I buy things and I don't use them, and I don't want to live like that anymore. So this is a little Wet n Wild palette. I think I've used this one time and I think it's beautiful, so I'm gonna keep it. Plus I don't have too many Wet n Wild eyeshadows. The Comfort palette is like the only one. Same goes with this Milani Pure Passion. I have not used this in so long, and I tried to buy a new Milani palette and it came broken 3 times from Ulta. So that's just, to me, telling me in my brain to keep this because I can't order another one. So I'll keep that. Bad justification, but whatevs. I know this is a highlighting palette, but I put it here. This is the Fenty Beauty. I think it was like a holiday palette. I have almost never ever used this. I don't think I've ever used it, to be honest. I think I swatched it and that's it. This was on super sale from Sephora one time, and I purchased it. I just purchased it and did nothing else with it. So I'm actually gonna move this to the top of my drawer. That way I do actually get to use this. Then we have this beautiful Ace Beauty Nostalgia palette. Look at these rich jewel tones. I could die. I have used this, even though it looks like I have never touched anything in here. Wow, this is like a brand new palette. I'm gonna keep this. I got this in a boxycharm. I love these jewel tones. This is perfect for fall, and this yellow's calling my name. I want to do a yellow look on the channel, so I'll keep that. Surprising to me, this has become one of my favorite palettes. This is the KKW Beauty Classic Blossom palette. It is stunning, so stunning. I got this the same time I got the Lorac palette from the same 21 Days of Beauty sale, and this formula blew that formula out of the water. I love this palette. I think it is beautiful. I think that it blended so well. I love the colors. I love everything about this. I love the packaging, this nude soft matte touch. I just love it. Kim killed it with this. This palette has survived my declutters for years, and it's because it was one of the first palettes I ever got from BoxyCharm. It looks like this. However, I mean, you can tell I've used it, but this is not that good, and it's old at this point, and I just was afraid to declutter it before because I have this weird thing where I don't want to get rid of the makeup because I purchased it myself, and it's hard to get rid of that stuff. You know, it's hard to see all my hard-earned money kind of just go down the drain, but it's time. It's time. This is the Real Her Be Your Own Beauty Volume 1 palette. Says it's vegan, sulfate free, whatever. Passing that along. It's so weird that my love of makeup started right here. This is the Kylie Holiday Palette. I've used it so much the wording is wiped off the back. This is a beautiful palette, and when I say it's beautiful, I mean, you know, I've used this to the point of pan, and this color all over my lid is just stunning. It's so hard to pick it up on camera with the packaging, but I remember getting this and then Googling like makeup look with this palette. That way I could recreate it, and that's kind of how my love of makeup started, with this right here, and I would never get rid of it. Plus, these 2 shades are amazing, but this is gonna stay for sure. Even though now I think it's so overpriced, but I would never get rid of this. This is so cool. This was like an unhype launch from Ulta. This is a Harry Potter collection, and it's in the Slytherin. I'm so afraid to get makeup on my white shirt. This is the Slytherin palette, and I am a Slytherin loud and proud, and this is a cool release. This was like so not talked about, and Harry Potter is so big and everyone loves it, so it's crazy that this didn't get more hype than it did. But I love this and I will never get rid of it. It's a great array of colors for Slytherin, and even if I don't use it that much, I mean, Slytherin pride. So I'm pretty sure my grandma got me this. This is the Sakura and Sage Seraphine Botanicals Vegan Shadow and Blush Palettes. I have not even used this because I got it for Christmas, and then I moved right away, and though I got it for Christmas, I didn't celebrate Christmas with my dad's side of the family until like February around my birthday because of COVID and all that. So I got this and then I moved right at the end of March, and I never really got around to using it because it was unfortunately shoved in a drawer and just forgot about, so I can move. And I will be pulling this out to use because these shimmer shades look beautiful and those blushes are perfect for summer. So I will keep this, plus my grand got it for me and I love her. Okay, so I'm not getting rid of as much as I thought I would. That being said, let's get rid of this. This is the Nightingale palette by Pretty Vogue. I just broke it. I've never used this. I swatched maybe 2 or 3 of the colors and then never ever used it. So I'll pass this along, and now it's broken, so I don't want it. I'm going to be keeping both of my Naked palettes. This is the Naked Heat. This is the Naked Ultraviolet. They are not my favorite eyeshadow palettes by any sense of the word, but I got this Naked Heat palette as a Christmas gift one year. So I'll be keeping this. Plus, I love the warm tones in the summer. They just take a little bit to blend out, but the Naked Heat's very beautiful. Then I purchased the Naked Ultraviolet because I am a sucker for purple shadows, even though there is not that much purple in here. A lot of it is neutral tones, but I will keep them. I like to reference them, and yeah, I just kind of like how they look, and I purchased this one, and they're not cheap, and this one was a gift, so I'll keep both of those. I would never in a million years get rid of this Alamar Cosmetics palette. I think I had volume 2 in part 1, and this is volume 1 in part 2. But talk about stunning shades. You can see I've used them. I think they are gorgeous. They are so beautiful, so creamy, so buttery, so blendable. Alamar Cosmetics is really, really fantastic. I love their lip liner. Shout out to Kathleen Lights for turning me on to that one, but I would never get rid of that. I think it's a beautiful palette, so that will be staying. I have this Juvia's Place palette. This is the Warrior. I don't know what it is about this palette that just makes me not want to use it. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure I got this as a gift from my friend Karen, so I will not be getting rid of it. Plus, I do really like it. Like, I look at this and I'm like, yes, I like that. But then when I see it in my drawer, when I go to do makeup, I'm like, no, I won't use that. So I'm thinking maybe I'll put this in a video coming up soon. That way I'm forced to use it, and we will try that out, because I don't even think I've ever really used it. And I'm so appreciative of the gifts that my friends give me, and I feel bad when they give me a gift and I'm like, oh, love it, but I haven't used it, and I just feel kind of bad for that. So I will be using that sometime soon. I'm so tempted to keep this Ciate London palette. I love the packaging. First of all, it's the Velvet palette. Look at these beautiful shades, but I just don't remember liking this. I actually think I didn't like this, and it was a boxycharm video. What to do? I'm gonna put this aside for now. I'm not sure if I want to keep this or get rid of this. We will come back to this at the end. Let me see how much I get rid of and keep. I'm going to get rid of this White Peach Too Faced palette. I got this at TJ Maxx, I think, so it did not pay full price, but I mean, it smells really good. But these shades seem like they would be a fair girl's dream, but I could not get them to work on me, and I'm just gonna pass this along. The packaging is stunning though, but I don't like that. Oh, I would never get rid of this. I know it's annoying. I keep talking about my nephews. But in the first part of this video, I had a chili pepper palette from my little nephew Bentley when we did a my nephew picks my makeup, blah 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 mystery box, and he also got me this hamburger palette. There used to be like a squishy burger on the top, but somehow it got ripped off. But this was the inside. It is quite ugly, I'm not gonna lie. I think this is a little bit strange, but I love him and he picked it, so I'll be keeping this for memory alone. Here's another Ace Beauty eyeshadow palette, and I got this in a boxycharm years ago. I have used it, you can definitely tell, but I haven't used it in so long, so I'll pass that along. I think my sister would really like that. Here is another BH Cosmetics palette. This is the Remix by Shan XO. It opens to this side and this side. Mine broke and I had to super glue it back in there, so it's a little bit weird. Passing that along. Don't remember the last time I even thought about that. This is a weird one. I have all of these single shadows from Coastal Scents that I think I'm gonna keep because this is the only eyeshadows I have from them. It stinks a little bit, but I think it's the plastic in this packaging. And I just like having single shadows sometimes, and Coastal Scents used to be a huge player in the makeup game on YouTube, and they died. Or yeah, I think they died. Oh, here are two things I would never get rid of. This is one of the best palettes ever. This is my Natasha Denona Bronze palette. Not only was it expensive, but it is so beautiful. This is a warm lover's dream. I'm so happy I have this. I'm so happy I bought this. I used the crap out of this last summer, and I cannot wait to bring this bad boy out this summer. Natasha Denona is expensive, and I don't like to endorse super expensive products because you can get great makeup for really affordable, i.e. ColourPop. So an elf recently, so it's hard for me to endorse super expensive products, but I genuinely love this palette. Here's another one that I super love. This is the Mercury Retrograde palette by Huda Beauty. This is my favorite palette of all time. Not only is it stunning in the pan, not only is the packaging stunning, everything about this is so gorgeous. I actually had to move this to the very bottom of the drawer to stop myself from using it. This is one of the best palettes I've ever purchased. This is my most expensive palette that I ever purchased. This palette was like almost $70, but it is worth every second. I adore this palette. I'm gonna keep this. This is my Baby Yoda palette. I have a lot of green tones. This is very similar to my Slytherin palette, but I mean, how could I not love this cute little face? I have, speaking of this, right here on my desk, I have this cute little Baby Yoda who looks at me every day. So the love of him is there. So he's right next to my Dundee Award that my boyfriend got me for being great. But I'm going to keep him. He's cute. He's a collector's item. I'm also going to keep this. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time. This is the Dream Street palette from ColourPop with Kathleen Lights. Clearly, clear as day, you can see this is my favorite eyeshadow of all time. I wish they made this in a single. I don't know if it's Twinkle or Shooting Star based on the names on the back, but I love this palette so much. And I think it has a great variety of shades while also being super neutral. I love this and I would never get rid of it, and I want them to release this as a single shadow. Shout out one time to Kathleen Lights. I'm not sure where I got this, but it's the Throw Shade palette, and it's just got all these like weird colors in it. I'm gonna pass this along. We are almost done. It's been over a half an hour. Next, I have this Ciate London palette, also from a boxycharm. I don't really understand the packaging. It's very not pleasing to the eye. It just looks like a bunch of lines, but the inside's really pretty, so I'll keep this. I'm gonna keep this LA Girl Get Feverish eyeshadow palette. It is super affordable, super low-end drugstore, and really fantastic. So I'm gonna keep this. I would never get rid of this. This is my Dose of Colors. I think it's the Desi X Katie Frantication palette. I think it is stunning. I love these colors in here. I just adore this palette. I got this at an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, and it's fantastic. So I'll keep that. Back to Violet Voss. This is the Essentials 1 palette. Again, just so stunning. Such a cool array of colors. I love this green emerald shade, and yeah, I'll be keeping this. Violet Voss is amazing. I'm gonna get rid of this Crown Pro eyeshadow palette. I got this in one of my very first boxycharms, and it's just been a long time and I haven't touched it or thought about it, so that's a good sign that it's time to go. I adore this palette. This is my Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie Patootie palette. I love this. I've done brides makeup with this. I have done prom makeup with this, my makeup with this, my sister's makeup with this. I love this eyeshadow palette, and if you can get your hands on this, I would purchase it. This is fantastic. I love the packaging. Mine's super dirty and old, but I love it, so I'll be keeping that. Then I have this huge, humongous, super thick, super big, iconic London eyeshadow palette. You know, I am going to pass this along. This is just too big and too bulky. I don't need it. Passing it along. Then I got this Venus 3 from Lime Crime and it's really pretty, and I've only used it one time, and it's my favorite color story. I'll be keeping that. All right, we just have a few more. I'm gonna keep my e.l.f. x Chipotle palette. What a weird collaboration, and it's very weird to look at this and know exactly what they were going for, like guac, veggies, rice, beans. It's weird, okay? It's weird, but I really like it. I love this like brown shade, but it's actually like a purpley plum shade all over the lid. So good. This is bad, okay? This is the Physicians Formula Butter Collection X Casey Holmes. Look at this monstrosity. Look at this. This is just the normal butter bronzer. This is a blush I think she created, and a limited edition highlighter, but the packaging is just too big. I mean, I'm gonna get rid of this. I love Casey Holmes though. Shout out to Casey Holmes. I don't purchase from Jeffree Star anymore, but I do have a couple of his palettes here. The first one being this mini Jawbreaker palette. This is so unpractical, but it has my purple shades that I love in it. And if I want something funky, I know I can get it from this. So I will be keeping the mini Jawbreaker palette, and I will be keeping this Bloodlust palette. This is the Bloodlust palette. It's big, it's bulky. It was in a video. I have to hold it down here so the mirror doesn't get to you, but it was in one of my videos, like products that I regret purchasing. I do regret purchasing this because it was so expensive and it's not the best quality in my opinion. I have some trouble with these shades and these purples, and I don't like to call myself an expert, but I have quite a bit of purple eyeshadows, and these are probably the hardest I have to work with. That being said, I do really like it, and I like the shimmers and the glitters tapped on the lid, and I don't want to get rid of it because I spent so much money on it. I know I have makeup on my white shirt, like I just know it, but I don't want to get rid of this. So I will be keeping this, and it's so hard to store. Like that's so annoying. This, however, this Jeffree Star Alien palette with these weird eyes, I will be getting rid of this. My sister is gonna love it, but I just don't vibe with anything in here except maybe this purple shade and some of the neutrals up top. Everything else I just don't like, so I'll be getting rid of that. All right, and I also decided that I'm gonna keep this Ciate London palette. I'm just gonna keep it. My friend Gabrielle on here says don't get rid of anything if you don't want, and I'm taking your word, girlfriend. I don't want to get rid of this, so I'm not gonna. Let's count how many I'm keeping and getting rid of. I am keeping 37 out of this one. It's a lot. Okay, little update. I forgot about these three, so that brings it to 40 eyeshadows kept and 16 eyeshadows decluttered. Not the best, but not the worst. All right, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching. I finally am through the majority of my makeup. I only have a little bit left of just random bits and bobs that I want to get rid of. Maybe I'll just do a final roundup of all the little weird things that I've collected. So look out for that. But we have made it to the end of my eyeshadow declutter, and we've decluttered all the major categories from primer to eyeshadow. So give me a round of applause. You can do so by giving this video a thumbs up and liking and subscribing and coming back for more. But that is it for this video as a whole. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.